All right, so we're picking up from where we left off. This is like when the bottom one is when I basically played for an extra hour. But we're gonna pick up from where we left off. So the only thing I did on that save was I bought a bunch of antidotes. Um, really, playing Eternal Ring actually helped a little bit. So our goals, remembering what our goals are, is we need to get a couple of rocks of life. And I kind of spoiled it there, but there are two rocks of life, which the game does not tell you exist. It makes it look like that there's like one choice, one rock of life, and you have to make a choice. But actually, that's not exactly the truth. So this is the hardest thing to get through because of that. And we're just gonna heal out through it. And then antidote out. So this is the poison area of this game. There's a little swamp at the bottom of this cave system. And it is also kind of your tutorial. Gosh darn it. Can I get by? They reappear, but not to the frequency they originally appeared to. Doo-doo. So, yes, slugs are your number one worst enemy so far. Because there's a bunch of them, and the finale to this area has a general AoE effect of poison. At least they kind of get rid of it early enough. They never understand how ladders work until like Dark Souls 1. So coming back to this guy, we get an upgrade material. That thing. Let's talk to him real fast. I heard a loud noise a little while ago. I wonder if part of the mine caved in. There was light here before I arrived. I guess the other people around... I'm busy right now. Don't talk to me unless you have something important to say. I wanted to pay off my debt quickly, but I don't think this is worth it. I have better things to do than talk. I'm busy right now. And he basically repeats it. So, the important thing here is he tells us we need a pickaxe. So we need a pickaxe. Pickaxes are good and cool things. They let us get through walls like that one. And they also help us open up barrels, although it could be a little bit annoying for those who are kind of new to the game, as you have to keep unequipping and re-equipping your pickaxe. Let's go back up. There's another path we need to take. Which is this way and over this thing. There's an elevator and there's a rest area. The elevator is the way forward, but progress is this way, towards the rest area. And here's our first real enemy, which is this zombie kind of guy. Very reminiscent of Demon Souls. These guys are... I mean, this is your FromSoft mine level. Yes, he is throwing up. Remember, this is the poison area. So everybody here is super sick. Come on, bat. Leave me alone. There's a bonfire. So, the story of this area is pretty clear. This area had a bunch of guys who were mining to pay off their debts to the kingdom, but the poison of the area got the better of them, and they started dying a little while ago. But even if they're like zombified, they're still super sick. So the strat here is not step in the poison, you'll get poisoned, but you want to bait the swing. And thank you for that, Bob. You want to bait the swing and then come on in. So he drops the pickaxe, which is good times here. So let's try it out. So every time you need to use the pickaxe, you're going to have to come in this menu. So you're going to learn to love this menu a lot. Stamina regain on the pickaxe is pretty slow, but it hits pretty hard. Barrels will carry different items and stuff. So it's worth opening them up and taking a look at what's inside. But you have to remember to re-equip your short sword when you're done. And thank you for that host, everybody. So here is a big thing. I don't think it's really worth coming down here, but we're coming down. That guy is on the side. Oh, ooh, I almost confused my button map. Ah, dang it. There's not a whole lot down here. Except a couple of antidotes, which is really useful. And an invisible wall. So really, this is kind of a trap, but kind of worth it. Antidotes are expensive. Oops. Wow. He decided to hit pretty hard. And that's basically what happens when you just kind of run in there. Alright, and we're out. So, our next area of business is this, this area. Leads to an elevator, which is also kind of hard. And deceivingly so, because plugs. Lots and lots of plugs. Make sure I have my board. Point down. Basically, this is the place where the game teaches you patience, because if you get too close, you're gonna get hit with the need to antidote. I'm gonna just heal through it. And we leveled up. And now I'm gonna clear the poison. So what do we do? We found the elevator, but we have to activate it. And then here's a barrel. That we should open up. See if there's anything in here. I forget if there's anything in there. Okay. So that lifted an elevator. And it is here. Here's an herb. The elevator is a one-way trip. I spent like many minutes trying to activate it again when I was done. But you'll see some of the really, like, there's some really great level design here, and you'll see how this ends up being when we come out to the other side of this little area. So, towards the left is our first rock of life, but on a couple of these pathways is some upgrade materials, so we should pick them up. And yes, the water is not water, it's poison swamp. I'm really not baiting that well, so try it again. Oh, dang it. Almost. You can run it, but I didn't really want to run it. I just kind of wanted to get rid of them so it's easier. And it is worth leveling up, I guess. But I used a lot of resources that time. Really kind of the luck of the draw sometimes with the enemy placements and the spawns. But you can tell how difficult this game must have been on the PS2, which I think they kind of address. H-Tech has an old translated interview with the producer Shinichiro Nishida, who still works for FromSoft, by the way. He's got like credits all the way through DSR. Mostly in system design work, but he is the producer of this Kingsfield. Like I said, luck of the draw, really. And we get our physical up. The best part is these guys give a lot of gold, so we can go and shop at David Bunch's Wonder Emporium when we're good and ready. you want to run over all of that, grab the upgrade material. Bye. Hitbox for grabbing that is kind of weird. I'm watching his pathing over there. I just want to run by him. Don't want to fight him on that thing. So this would be the source of the poison that's infecting the miners. And over here, we'll find a dead guy who died under a pile of rock. He has the hair of that young girl. Apparently, he was in the mines and he died. So that's what happened to her father and the woman's husband. But we got our first rock of life of the area. And we're back with the guy who doesn't want to be bothered, and the ladder. We'll be back there because we have the pickaxe. But it is worth to go back now and talk to the girl and save it. If you were on PS2, if you grabbed at your original equipment, this would probably be the flow that you would be doing. Once you got that first rock of life, you'd probably and save it, because that's a lot of progress. We're gonna heal out first. You can tell how difficult this is still the tutorial, and it is still mighty difficult. I'm gonna save on one. The reason I think to go to the back to the girl and her sick mom first is because they give us a tool that I think is a little bit easier than the tool that the other guy would give us. But yeah, the interview basically says take the game at your own pace, and experience the atmosphere. So atmosphere was their number one concern when designing the ancient city. And I guess they decided that difficulty was part of that atmosphere. So coming back to the girl, she notices the rock of life. She asks us to give it to her mother. not knowing that her father died getting this rock of life. Poor dog. So just like in Eternal Ring, you give them items. All I can do is pray for a safe return. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am. He's dead. Just like in Eternal Ring, to give an item, you have to actually just kind of use it. So it says it is a rare item that supposedly has the power to cure any disease. This is a rock of life. Why would you give it to a stranger like me? And she's just kind of befuddled about it. She doesn't give you the reward. Her daughter does. If we go back to her daughter, thank you for helping my mother. Please take this gift. And she gives us a magic crystal. So crystals in Dark Souls is kind of a reference to this. All magic in Kingsfield comes out of crystals. You break the crystal, and then you learn a magic spell. So, like the whole crystal equals magic thing in Dark Souls, while we all have like lore theories about what it means within Dark Souls, it is also a reference to Kingsfield. And I'm not sure if there's a specific reason why magic and crystals are a thing in Kingsfield. I'd have to look at Dave Klein's videos about that. Because if anybody knows, he would. We're not going to use that yet. We have to get something hidden back here before we do that. Huh. Like Charlie's grandpa. So, because we have the pickaxe, we can open up walls that look like this. So let's do that. Play the waiting game. What we get is a mushroom, because mushroom is magic things in all of the Kingsfield-like games. Yeah. I've mentioned this, I think, on Aegon's stream, but mushrooms and magic go hand in hand like crystals and magic do. In this game, mushrooms refill your MP bar, which is a little C around your health bubble. All of the Kingsfield-like games are like that, except Evergrace, where a mushroom gives you a % down on like your next shop purchase. I guess that's a sort of magic. And there's a message over here. Secret. Forest. The key is mine. So, like, the messaging system goes all the way back, like, 20-something odd years. But the messaging system as we know it, as given to the hands of players, is a dark. We need to switch back out. Now, here's a reference. This next enemy is a reference to the original Kingsfield. And it is referenced in Dark Souls 2, kind of. Trying to get out of here. So, here's a tree. And it looks mad and evil. Whoa, stop doing that. He has a big hug reach, I guess. Ah, why'd you do that, sir? Alright. He is dead. What he drops, like in Dark Souls 2, he's a weird tree enemy that has like no reason to be there in Shulva. And Aldia is kind of like that too. But that tree is in Kingsfield, Japan 1, as well as like all of the Kingsfield like. I don't think he has a different reference in any other Dark Souls game, but Dark Souls 2 being basically a Kingsfield game is makes sense. So what he dropped was the Bracelet of Clarity. And the Bracelet of Clarity unlocks magic. Yeah. So now we take a look at the basic character sheet. It now has 0 of 20 MP and 9 of 9 magical. We also have 353 gold. We'll probably have to go shopping at David before we continue on. Buy some more antidotes. And we're also level 5. The full is all of that. That's the full character sheet. So remember that crystal we got from the girl. We shatter it. And we learned ourselves some magic. It also gives us our MP for full. And I guess, do we have to? Yeah, we have to equip it. You have to equip magic. Weird. So now we have a fireball. As you can see, magic has its own stamina bar. Same rules apply, but it refills at different rate than your normal stamina. So if I running around eats it too, and you can see how they refill at different rates. If I run, make sure there's nothing here. Oh, right, there's a couple of barrels we can open up right there, so we can do that. We're rewarded with some more healing items. Keep the pitchfork on. Pickaxe. And I guess this is why there's a pickaxe in every Souls game, even though they're not really that great. Because I guess a lot of the Japanese audience, at least, had memories of doing this with a pickaxe. These are all gravestones. Lots of people have died. I guess the The illness that was affecting the miners hit the mother and a lot of other people, and they're basically the only survivors. Um, it's sad, but their quest line is finished, as far as I know. So we're gonna go over and save it. Save judiciously.